Alrighty. We are live, aren't we? We are live. I hope so. We are live. Alrighty. So, a lot is going on with the markets today. A lot with the markets today, eh? Gold and silver, really big moves on the downside. This is the hard thing about trying to, especially with silver. Silver's one of those markets that really will just it moves really quickly for you and against you and all that sort of stuff when it comes to silver there. So that's where, and one of the big lessons we can continue learning around these markets is there's always these lessons, right? And one of the big lessons around all these markets, as a trader ourselves, is whatever goes parabolic up, no matter what the reasoning why, typically what happens is a sharp correction on the downside or sharp correction against the trend. Doesn't mean the trend is over, but if you think about things just getting too far stretched, and this is where it's always the wrong time to be entering the markets and stuff like that. So there's always these lessons from these markets. Always from these lessons from the markets. Let me bring this up to here. I'm just coming back. I've actually, for you guys that are joining live or you guys watching the recording, I've just finished another 10K. Actually, my morning run this morning was 11Ks this morning. So quite nice. And now we're getting to the markets. So let me just bring this up to here for you guys now. First I want to start off with the disclaimer. So there's a disclaimer there. And also make sure you go get access to that book, guys, especially for you guys that are just focusing on the trading strategy and not the mindset, the psychology side of it. You're missing a huge part. And that's obviously what the book's all about at johnsfreegift.com. So let me bring up the markets now. We're live. That's right. We are live. Well, we're live now. For the guys that watch the replay, they're like, what the hell are you talking about? You weren't live. Yes, I was. All in cash, bro. One of the big things, guys, just remember that all markets operate the same way. And one of the biggest things that we look at is no matter what market you look at, whatever goes parabolic, like gold did a few months ago. I was giving warning signs about a bit of a correction, and we got about 10 to 15% correction. Silver, doesn't matter what market it is. Whenever we go parabolic, the hard thing about it is typically whenever things that's now bubbles on the charts, right? That's now bubbles on the charts, and whenever that happens, it's always the hardest part to just try to get involved with from there. All in gas. So let's actually bring up my TC2000 platform. Alrighty, there's my TC2000 platform. Here's a good look across the markets today. Oil and gas, bro. What about oil and gas? Are they up today? Oil and gas. We can have a look at USO. USO. Oh, USO is up today. Well, let me go to here. USO is not up, not yet. But for you guys that have been following me now for a while, mark my words. When this thing starts to break out with oil is one of those really good opportunities that I see is going to be starting. And I'm always looking for the markets I'm always looking for the markets that's likely to make the next move because they take turns, right? It's Bitcoin, it's Ethereum, it's the Mag 7, it's gold, it's silver. Like there's always going to be these markets that take turns. So I'm always looking for the market. What's the next market to make the move? The markets that are already making the move, it's too late. So I'm always looking for those. And how I find those, very simple. Again, if you guys have been following me now for quite some time, you will know this thing here is called no trend, right? No trend, just sideways for 3-4 years. Whenever this breaks out, guys, mark my word, that's likely to be the start of a new upward trend. And therefore, we could see a good 6, 12, maybe even a couple of years, 6 to 12 months of upward movement, probably even a couple of years of, I'll say upward movement, may even break down. I'm not sure where it's going to break, but if it does break up, that'd be nice. Or if it breaks down, so yeah. Some in Australia now. That's right. Some in Australia. So yeah, guys, I'm just actually eating my breakfast while I'm doing this as well. Because I literally just came back from actually 11 kilometer run today. For you guys that are into running, my Strava stats are 11.18 kilometers, average pace 5 minute 27, and just over an hour to complete it. Again, it's an easy run. It wasn't me pushing it. The last few hundred meters I did push it, but which I got like 3 minutes or something like that, was crazy. But for you guys that are runners, and for you guys that want to know why am I running, is because I'm starting my prep now for a solo high rocks race coming up in April next year. So I'm starting now. Preparation starts now. Or started about a week ago, should I say. So therefore this week I've done 11, about 17, 18 kilometers I've done in the last 2 days. Somewhere like that, between 17 and 18. 16 to 17, 16 to 18, somewhere over there. I'm just trying to do the exact numbers there. Anyway. Always got to take care of your health as well too, guys, right? We have the markets. The person who's saying this to you on this live stream is because it's important to take care of the market, like trading and stuff like that. That's one thing. But on the other side, it's always important also to take care of your health, right? Things like even just a nice 5K run or a nice few kilometer run. It's so good for your health. You burn calories. You feel so good. It's really good for your mindset. So you're taking care of yourself mentally outside the markets, because these markets, guys, if this is your entire life, it is going to rip you apart. And we need to have these balancing things outside the markets to help us stay balanced, to try to help us stay calm. Try to help us stay calm when we're in the markets. Because as you can see, like for example, silver, just complete and utter rejection. Now it's not a change in trend with silver. Remember, this is just a reversal pattern. We're probably going to continue down more, but this is not the end. I don't think this is the end of the trend. I think this is just the start of another one of these energy building phases. If you guys have been watching me now for quite some time, this is just another one of those energy building phase. Energy building, energy using, energy building, energy using. But sometimes these energy building phases can be more like this here. So we could get like a 50% correction now out of this level here. So it may come back down to here somewhere. And if it's gonna continue up to 80, we may get a pullback down towards these levels down here now. Only because we've just had such a big move. And again, guys, it's pretty simple when you think about it. If you guys have been following it for quite some time, once again, it's all energy, right? Energy. We did a lot of energy building here, so we had a nice move. After a nice move, we've run over energy. Now we had another energy building phase. We've had a really big up move. Now we've run out of energy. We need a little bit of a correction here. Not a change in trend, right? Because the overall trend is still pretty very strongly to the upside, I would say. No, I wouldn't say it is. Right? So very strongly to the upside there. So this little correction here is just part of the trend. That's all, right? Because how is a trend formed? The market goes down for a couple of weeks to form the high low and back up again and down again. So if we are going to go back up to 100, if we are, I don't know, then probably get a bit of a correction here. But this is the issue if you're trading silver with leverage and options, stuff like that. It is not going to be good. It's always a problem with silver, especially when you get these parabolic phases. Oh. Summer in Australia now. It sure is. Down under is getting hot now. It's getting hot. Well, for you guys that are wondering what I'm having for breakfast this morning after my 10K run, I just had, it's a bowl of oats with I think it's like 300 grams of mixed berries. But I also had like a protein shake as well too, a banana. Before my 10-kilometer run, I had a banana and 2 scoops of like a carb powder. It's like 30 grams of carbs, electrolytes, caffeine. So I had that before my 10K run. Then I did the 10K run for an hour. And then I come back, and now I just had a protein shake with another banana, and now I'm having this here as well too. And on top of that, I've got a big thing of green drink here. Grasses and vitamin Bs and all that sort of stuff. Just try to take care of my health, guys. That's all. And sometimes when we're going through very stressful, one thing I find about even this morning, like I'm going through something personal in my life right now. And it actually happened last night. And it sort of got under my skin just a little bit. And so by going and that's one of the reasons why I did a 10-kilometer run this morning instead of a normal 5 or 6, what I normally do. Because I had to sort of, by going through the run, it sort of helps me clear my head and then also come up with some really good solutions around my personal issues that are happening in my life. Without me getting too overreactive or me too emotional about it. Just nicely calm, go for the run, think about solutions, think about how I can approach this, come up with some good ideas. And then when I come back, which I have, and now, because we all go through personal shit, don't we? We all go through personal shit. But it's how we respond to that stuff is how it's going to make a big difference, you know what I mean? So I didn't respond last night. I just stayed calm, had a good night's sleep, almost 7 hours sleep. Went for a run this morning, think about how I can approach the situation. Nice, easy, come up with some ideas. And then probably later on this afternoon or maybe tomorrow, I'll approach that personal situation, take care of it, and then move forward. XLE just crossed over the trend line. Ooh. Hope it can hold above. Just start a small test position. Okay. Small test position, eh? All right. Let's go have a look at XLE. XLE just crossed this trend line. XLE is still part of this sideways top, mate. This is still part of this sideways pattern here. Who says it's not going to keep doing this for another 6 months? It can. Look at oil. Like this has been going sideways for like, what is this now? What's that, 3 years? Oil, look at oil. Oil has been going sideways for, what's that? Was that 4 years? Yeah. So it doesn't mean it's going to break up as well too. Just because we get these patterns here top, and I've been talking about this. This is where I personally wait for confirmation for my trading. And then I don't put on a small test position. I'll put on a full position. Once I get confirmation, I'm in. No mucking around. Let's go. I'm confident with the situation. Because the problem with that now is I know what you're looking at, and one of the reasons why I'm actually hoping it does break up. This is the long-term monthly logarithmic chart here, and you can see this sideways pattern here. So, but remember, just because we get this sideways pattern doesn't mean it's going to break up and have that big move up. It's a big, big, big. I get my setup, then I need my confirmation that gives me a high probability we're starting that next move. Big thing. Setup, yes. Confirmation, no. Because what can happen is we can hold here, and for some reason, that's that support level. For some reason, it comes back down to this support level, and we have a big drop down here. Maybe we go through a deflationary phase, and we have a big drop to the downside. And then energy and oil gets dropped hard. Maybe because the next recession comes and deflation, and I don't know. That's where like I have my setup. The setup gives me a high probability of a trade. But then I need my confirmation that that says, okay, here we go. We're now likely to be. So for me, it's too risky to get in right now because it may just pause and then drop. XOM, all-time new high. Take a big percentage on XLE. Huh? So your first comment was XLE. I took a small test position. Then your next comment was XOM at all-time high. Take a big percentage on XLE. Right. Is it black or white? XOM, the same thing. Look at XOM. XOM is just still part of this. It's nothing here yet. I'm not getting. There's nothing. It's XOM at time high. Yeah, it is, and there's been at all-time new high for the last couple of years as well, for all this time as well too. So it's so important, Top. If you're going to trade stuff that you learn from me, use it 100%. Meaning, don't just take a setup. If you're going to follow through, don't just take part of my plan that I use and then forget the rest. Me, I have my setup, which is the setup, and then I need my confirmation. My confirmation is my trigger to say, okay, this is when I should be looking to get in now. So yeah, there's actually nothing. Nothing going on here. For me, anyway. Okay, for me. Maybe for you guys, but for me, there's nothing going on here yet. Baba? Tesla's pulling back. I can come. Right one. And that's what makes my trading so high probability top is I have a really high probability trading pattern that you obviously know, but I still need I need my confirmation. I need my entry candle to tell me we're now likely to be starting that next move. And unless I don't get that confirmation candle, it's not my time to get involved with it. So set up entry candle or entry bar or entry time. Rough, nice correction. Yeah, definitely in the metals today. Let's go back to all charts here. So gold and silver, man, look at gold. Yeah, this is always the hard part, isn't it? Eh? It's always the hard part. And the interesting thing is that this is what the market does to you, isn't it? Especially if you're long these markets, these metals and miners, and this, oh my goodness, here we go, it's going to the moon. And this emotion takes over, and then the market just smacks you in the face. But there's also warning signs to that too. It's called not being greedy. But yeah, definitely everything's getting, but not much going on with the actual. So the metals today, if I actually look at the metals today, the metals are actually not down that much today. Sorry, mining stocks. So mining stocks are actually not down that much today. Oh, they're still down 5%. But if you actually look at the chart itself, they're not down that much. Silver and gold definitely down a lot. And this is always the problem holding. If you're ever in a big bull phase, guys, the issue is the problem trying to hold on to that very last little tick, which you never know when it's going to be, is one down day. Like, see this gold down day? This gold down day has wiped out. How many days is that? About 2 weeks worth of action there. So that's always the issue by trying to hold on to these markets here. I always did think, I was always looking at gold. Wow, look at that weekly chart with gold. Yeah. The interesting thing is if you actually look at the repetitive pattern with gold, so this is gold here, right? If you actually look at the repetitive pattern with gold, every single one of these, what's called energy building phases, we get almost to my 24. You see it all the way up, right? Nice up, pull back, 24, up, pull back, almost 24, up, right? To my 24 moving average on my weekly chart. But then look what happened just recently. It moved up. It had a little drop down for a few weeks and then have another big move up. It didn't get anywhere near the 24 this time. What does that mean? Typically, that means there's not enough energy built to actually go for a big move. Because typically what the moving average means is when we get this sideways pattern to the 24, when it gets closer to the 24, now we've had enough energy built, we're ready to go for another move. You see this entire order thing up. But if we have a small little pullback and continue up, we haven't actually built enough energy for it to go to. So I have been looking at that for the last week. I think I'm like, what's that all about? Buy sugar. Is that cane? Is that the market you're talking about? Let's go look at that. How do I change? Why sugar? Well, sugar cane is definitely a strong downward trending here. There's nothing here to say this is going to turn around. You may be right, but having that mentality, you've been wrong since 2023. I don't like those odds. You've been. I tell you what, man, there's a lot of pain in this. The end of this year, guys, there is so much pain going on in this world right now in these markets. I can just feel it. Not me, because I'm not emotionally tied to these short-term movements right now. So I'm not. You probably can tell, right? Like I'm not. I'm having a good time, and I'm not losing any money right now. Like I'm all good. But those who are greedy, those who don't have any plan, those who are just taking a stab, a bet, let me just put on, let me just test this out now. Man, there's so much pain across all these markets. And the professionals, like myself, I'm not feeling pain at all right now. I'm actually having a good morning. I'm actually, because I don't guess, I don't gamble. But the reason I say there's a lot of pain right now going into the year, because if you think about this last month, Mag 7 stocks have been getting crushed, cryptocurrencies crushed, like just so much money lost there. And now what we're seeing right now with gold and silver, the unfortunate thing is it's not those who are investing in gold and silver, right? Who cares like that? But it's those who actually have leveraged positions in the markets. They're the people that's actually starting to get probably a little bit hurt right now. Yeah. Okay, let me teach you something here, guys. Okay, so for you guys that are watching replay, let me teach you something here. I learned this actually from one of my mentors, and this is actually called angles in the market. Let me teach you this here. Angles in the market. Who wants me to teach you an advanced, awesome trading technique you can use when you're trading? Maybe I can just leave that for my coaching clients. Is the 45-year cup and handle the energy accumulation phase? 45 years. Crap. 45 years? The energy? No, come on now. Now you're taking it way too far. You're taking something and then blowing it right out to 45 years? No, come on. Scratch sounds like you're hoping so, though. Sounds like you're hoping so. All right, let me teach you an advanced trading technique here, guys, because I think this is really important here to understand. If we have a look at these, this is called angles in the markets, guys. Okay, angles in the markets it's an advanced trading technique that I learned from my mentor, but it's really big on WD Gann on the I learned this from him, but it's really big on WD Gann was really big on seeing if we have what's called a price phase, a strong move up, how strong is that move? And if we've had strong moves for quite some time, but then we start to be, but we've had, for example, in a bull phase, right? We have these strong moves. So if I show you this here, you can see how we actually had see that angle from there. So I'll make this blue here. I'll make that really thick. I'm going to make this blue, right? So that's the overall angle to the upside of the buying leg there. Then we went sideways, right? Then we had another strong move to the upside like that through there. Okay. And then, it's actually more like, right? And then we had this leg, this overall leg to the upside here, right? Then we had this overall leg here. We actually had that. And then it was more like really strong. All right. So that was that through there. And you can see this very last one. Look at this here. This very last one was what? Look how strong that was. See how strong that was there? Now, why am I bringing this up to you here? To see how strong a lot of these legs are. Now, check out this. So we've had these strong legs here. If I take this same angle and I draw it over the price today from that lotto to there, let me bring this down, you'll be able to see, and let me actually now make that orange, and you'll be able to see this here. This overall angle to the upside, if I create a parallel trend line, you'll be able to see how a lot of these, that's actually a bit faster there, and the same angle there. But you'll be able to see here, compared to this angle through here, this last leg here, we had a very strong move to the upside, But now this has been very lackluster. You can see how this has been lackluster. This is what Gann talks about, monitoring the slowing of the buying activity. Monitoring the slowing of the buying activity. If we've been having these strong buying legs and we have a big strong buying leg, and for some reason we get this sort of slowing to the upside, you can actually see the differences, right? This one here is more like vertical move to the upside, and this one here is more like very slow grinding to the upside. The differences, right? Even though they're both going up, one is strong on the upside. There's a lot of strong dominant buyers there. But then this up leg here is actually there's buyers there, right? But it's actually been very weak. Like look at that through there. And what that means is the buyers could be really slowing down now. And by the way, I know you guys won't like this, but if we do not quickly accumulate this recent high, this here is a classic false breakout. It broke above the high, paused, and reversed straight back down. If we do not quickly in the next week accumulate and come right back up again, this is a classic false breakout, and expect a lot more downside to come with gold. Now, you guys that are long, bear in mind, guys, like I'm actually long-term with goats here, right? So, and then this is where we could possibly start to get into some of these angles from here and see where that from there to there, possibly that from there to there. Complete and utter rejection on this gold chart. Look at that there. And complete and utter rejection from there. What's the time? Well, market's almost closed. So it does look like, actually, now looking at this level here, that's a complete false breakout. It broke above it, paused, and reversed straight down. Yep. I would not be surprised now to see this thing back down towards the 4,000, maybe just a bit lower now. It's screaming at us. And the reason why I'm saying that, if you put two together, what I just said there a minute ago, one, I'm noticing this upper leg is so much weaker compared to this upper leg. So we had this very strong vertical move, and then you had this very slow grind to the upside, one. So this buying leg is here, but the buyer's a lot weaker. They're like slowly grinding it. And then secondly, they broke above previous highs, and they just held there. And then bam. And then on top of all that, I was talking about how typically what happens when we don't get the sideways pattern to the 24 on the weekly charts, that tells me there hasn't been enough time to build enough energy to go for that next move. So all of these things are lining up for probably a pretty good, decent correction from here. So maybe another 10% correction. X marks the spot around that 4,000 level there. Mm. And then that along with silver though as well. Whew. Yeah. Let's go. And the same for the energy sector as well too. Yeah. We might be finding a final top here, guys. Final top. Put a caveat on that. A bit of a shorter term top now for quite some time. Because even the energy sector, even the mining sector is doing something really similar as well too. Look at that there. We broke above all-time new highs, and now we're failing. Typically, what happens when you break above all-time new highs, you break, you might pause, and then continue. But the same thing here as well too with what I said before about gold. Look at this here. Strong, strong, strong buying activity. Look at that. Look how slow that is to the upside. It means we're strong. The buys are there, but it's actually slowing down now. So maybe we're getting ready for what I was seeing in gold a couple of months ago. Overall, is maybe that's what's going to happen. Now, I call it a short-term top. You don't know how it's going to form. But if we had to start to look at some longer-term trend lines, say, for example, the GDX here. Let me bring on the weekly chart here. And the GDX, I would have to say, possibly a trend line around there somewhere. Yeah. And it does, we do actually have also this level back here as well. So it's not looking good, is it? Not looking good. And for those that are leveraged long right now, definitely failing. And this is where one of the things I've learned out of my trading, doesn't matter what my position is that I need to listen to what the market is telling me. And you get these false breakout moves and all that sort of stuff. Gold price has not dropped below the price when the Fed started to rate cut. All right. Now, enough of the mining sector, metals and miners. We might be finding a significant top for a while. And if it is a false breakout, especially on the gold chart, once again, if this is a false breakout to the upside, and it looks like it's going to be, if we do not reclaim 4,500 pretty quickly, get ready for another 10% drop at least on gold. Up, 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 broke above new highs, and then failed. False breakout. Now, let's go look at the actual. Now we talked about metals and miners to the nth degree. The nth degree. Let's go look at the actual. Let's go look at a few other markets here. So, firstly, interest rates. If interest rates here, this is the TC 2000 version. So if interest rates breaks this 40, which is the 4% level on the 10-year, that's the line in the sand there. If we break that, this is what we have here on this. This is the weekly chart up here. This is the weekly chart up here. if we break, this is the line in the sand. Look at this here, sideways. If the 10-year continues to break below this 40, which is on the TC2000, and you put the decimal point between the first two numbers, so this is 4%. That's how it. So right now it's 4.1. That's how you utilize with the TC2000 platform. If we break that, that's going to start the interest rates having a lot more drop to the downside. That's the line in the sand. And this is the 30-year right now. Look what the 30 year is doing. It's squeezing up into this overall triangle pattern. Once again, if this 30 year starts to break below this 40, especially if it starts to break down past this 46, 44 level, break out to the downside, that's what it's going to look like from there. And when that happens, then we're likely to start to see the 30 year come back down to probably the first leg would be down around about that level there. So we could get down to probably the 4s in the 30 year if we do fail through here and then start to break down. Now, the flip side is why I'm actually long the bond market. Still am. Is this. This is the bond market here. T or T. Now, I'm obviously TMF, but it's basically the same thing. If that does start to form and everything's starting to go that way, we're going to get TMF here breaking up above 90. Once we break up above here, then we're likely to see a really sharp, pretty quick rise, I would say, out of the interest rates, out of the bond market from here. This is the weekly chart. So this has been squeezing up through here. Now remember, just because but people be saying it's a descending triangle pattern. These patterns here, this descending triangle pattern after a big move are typically reversal patterns. So you get it and you pause, and if we do break up, then we're likely to see a really big move to the upside. When that happens, I'm on my TMF trade though. No. All right, where's my TMF here? The next major level of support on TMF is up there right about that 80 level. We're at 38 now. If that does happen, which is my first target, which is around the $80 level, that's 100% return on my investment. So I have an investment in TMF, which is just bought it. Whenever that happens, that's 100% return just by getting to 80 up there. I also have long dated options on this one as well too. So that could be another 300-400% return by the time, or maybe not, maybe even 200-300% return. Either way, I'm in it. And as this is starting to slowly unfold, and it's happening slowly, I'm already in it. And then 6 months down the road or 12 months down the road, when this is all starting to crack and it's all starting to happen, I'm sitting saying, hey, I'm ready for this. Bring on. And then I'll make a lot of money actually, because I've got a really big position in TMF right now. So, but until then, sit back, relax. In the next 12 months, as this thing starts to unfold, make a lot of money. And that's what's about. Now, the hard thing about what I just said there, especially for a lot of traders, is what? They're like, what? I have to wait 12 months for this thing to unfold? Man, that's called one position. Take a portion of your account. Actually, no, don't do anything I'm doing right now, because this may lose money. But the way that I do it is I take a portion of my trading account. I then put it into TMF, still have 80% of my trading account sitting there, ready to go for new opportunities. Right. And then my investment account, I just bought it. That's what it's all about. But the TMF to me is one of the greatest opportunities for next year. One of the greatest opportunities for next year. But the unfortunate thing about trading is this. most people don't become attracted to a market until we start to get this action. When this starts to happen and everyone starts to talk about it, then a lot of people now start to focus on that market because it's already making the move. Down the bottom here, when the market wasn't doing much, that's the time you should be looking at the market. And then 1-2 years later, then we get the big moves. Same with gold. Right? When gold was doing nothing for a few years, that's the time to be looking at it. Not 2 years later when it's already made this extraordinary big move. You're already too late. And this is where a lot of people, they're interested in gold now in the last 6 months. But this is the time. So flip it on its head and say, oh, okay, well, TMF is one of those things where I'm in it now. And over the next period of time, we should start to see a nice rise out of the market. Silver stopped out already. Silver stopped out. Cool. There's just so much pain going on right now. And this is why more than ever, guys, this is why more than ever, man, you need to be patient with your trading. If you're not sure what to do, or you're working on, the worst thing to be doing is trading on emotions as well too. If you're using emotions to get involved with markets, like I better get in now before I miss out, or I better get out now because I'm losing too much money, like it's always the worst decision. Always the worst decision. Me, I've had an amazing year. I've had an incredible year this year. Really, really well. Made a lot of money this year. I had 3 really big withdrawals this year from my trading account to pay taxes and to live off and all that sort of stuff. So I showed my equity curve yesterday anyway. So this year's been an amazing year for me, and I'm not losing any money right now. In fact, even in my SPY trade that I talked about here, actually that's not true. I'm slightly underwater with TMF, but with my SPY trade, right? I actually went long down here when I started talking about it on YouTube with call options. So my in the money call options right now are up about 20-30%. So they're actually already up a little bit. And guess what's coming? Yeah, that's what's coming. It's a coming. Energy using, energy building, eh? Let's go and have a look at there's so much opportunity, guys. That's why we never want to focus on one market. But there's so much opportunity happening right now across the globe. Let me bring on my TC2, my trading view for you guys now. Trading view. Here we go. Here's my trading view. Software I use, guys, is TC2000 because that has my scans that I run every day for my trading. Because I run scans every day from it. And then I just use this software to more for other markets and stuff like that. Bitcoin and stuff like that. But looking at the actual stock market today, no big drop at all in the stock market. Nothing. No big drop at all. Just holding here. Just a small little drop. Here's the NASDAQ. Small little drop. DJ. Small little down day. Russell, small little down day. Nothing like the metals. We had a bit of a down day, but nothing like the metals. Metals are getting crushed. The top is in. Run for the hills. It's all over. Oh, I'm going to have a field day today with my shorts, I think. I'm going to piss so many people off. I should change my title to this live stream. Gold and silver dead. There's a lot of opportunity here, guys. Russell's still holding strong. Oh my goodness. How does someone... Oh no. Keep gold, silver, title to the moon, to the moon. Stock market to the moon. Top. Not gold, silver. They've already gone to the moon. Maybe they just landed and that's it. Maybe it's all downhill from here now. Well, the way that gold's looking, maybe that's the case for at least for a few months at least. That little false breakout with gold is telling us something. I think moon landing has already happened. Now they land on there, they're doing the floaty thing, and now it's all downhill, back down to earth. I want it all. And that's what it's all about, guys, right? I've just learned that if I'm not sure about something, I'm not going to get involved with it. And the best trades are after when we get an energy building phase. Don't chase something that's already made a big move, because now we want to trade probabilities, right? And if something's already made a big move like silver, you never want to chase it. But that's always, if you're new to the markets, you don't understand that, because you don't understand that thing about the markets, and that's okay. It takes a bit of time to understand it, because the market will go and it'll go and it'll go and it'll go, and then FOMO kicks in, and then you buy it. But like, hang on a minute, you waited 2 weeks to buy it, now it's already gone up, and then you get it, and then a week later you're losing a lot of money because you got into that top, and then you say the market's manipulated and so on and so forth. Like, no. The market's not manipulated. Even in a very strong big bull market, we get these things that are overextended, right? So even with gold, right? When we start to get too overextended, and all that simply means is this: whenever we get too far away from the moving average, we've done too much energy using what's called price phase in GANs things. And then when we've gone too far away from the moving average, we've done too much energy. We just now probably like it to pause and then go for an energy building phase. Too far away, too far away, too far away. The same thing, right? That's why, yes, we trade with the trend, but the thing with that is then we want to make sure that we're waiting for a really good energy building phase, because that's going to give us the best chance of jumping on, getting in on that next move. Stock market crash in the next 9 days. Oh, really? Okay. Well, geez. If he knows that. By the way, Top, I've got to ask you a question. I'm sure you watched that video, right? I actually saw that video as well too. I went and looked up this Ron Walker guy. Like, who's this Ron Walker guy? I'm sure you watched that video. I watched a little bit of that video as well too, what he was saying. Now, nothing against Nothing against Ron Walker, right? But here's the thing. He's talking about divergences on these indicators. Okay, cool. He has valid points around the divergences. But this is now the third, the fourth, the fifth divergence on the indicator. How come it didn't work the first divergence or the second divergence or the third divergence? Top, do you know what I'm saying here? You probably watched the video. You know what I'm talking about. It's now what, 4 or 5 divergences in, and now he's saying the top's going to be in? So that's the only issue. I did watch some of that video. I'm just like, what makes this top now? What? So, and again, let's just look at the facts, guys. If you are trading a divergence pattern, a reversal pattern against the trend pattern, by default, look at this market here. By default, you are going to have a low win-loss ratio strategy. Forget whoever says it. If there's a strong trending market, anything to go against that, you're going to be wrong 70% of the time at least. Why would you want a trading strategy like that? Why would you want to trade the market like that? You are setting yourself up to blow yourself up. And I call it 70%. It's probably a lot higher. Look at this here. Since 2020, there's only been 2 times since we've had these little short-term tops and then a little correction here. Actually, this top here only lasted a few months before continuation. This one up here, and then went into a slow bear market. But if you're trading the markets, again, guys, we want long-term success here. Let's be real. Let's be real with ourselves. Heads and shoulders, double tops, like even false breakout patterns, how we're actually trading the market, divergences, these things. By default, you're going against the strong market. By default, and just look at the market, that means you have a very low win-loss ratio. And even if you are right, let's just say you did pick this top and you got this move here. It's only a short-term drop before the pick up here. Look at this here. Let's just say you did pick the top here and you started going short here. Well, it was only 1 year later before we picked back up again. Don't do that, guys. You want to be around long-term? Trade the probabilities. I don't care if there's a divergence on the monthly, like go against the market, reversal patterns, heads and shoulders, double tops, overbought indicators, oversold indicators, like this sort of stuff. Again, by default, it's going to give you a high loss ratio. At least 70% of the time you're going to be wrong. Why would you do that? But then you want to try to be smart and try to use all these funky indicators and try to do all this sort of stuff. Don't. If you want to actually make good money from the markets, trade the probabilities. Trade the probabilities. And right now, there's a strong market to the upside. So there's a major probability, at least 70% success rate, that the market's going to continue here. And I say 70%, it's probably a lot higher. I'm just using a high number. So if you want to be around long term, what are you doing now? Why are you trying to call the top now? When you know you only got probably a 20, 30% chance of being right. Don't do it, guys. Don't do it. Ugh, give yourself a heart attack. No wonder most people don't make money in the markets. They're trying to do that shit. Trying to say, oh, the top's in now. Really? And look at this here, guys. Where have the biggest moves been here? The biggest moves have been here, here, and here. That's where the big profits are being made. Not here and here. That's been slow grinding to the downside, slow grinding. Big profits have gone with the overall big trend. And you have these little short-term corrections here. Don't try and trade those. You want to be around long-term, guys? Think about the foundations of how you're trading these markets. And these bloody top pickers. So that's what I have to say about, and this has nothing against Ron Walker. I don't know him personally, but when I see the way he's approaching these markets and looking for strategies to call tops and the volume and all that sort of stuff, it's like, what are you doing, man? Seriously. How are you trading the markets? You want to trade the same way all the time. What are you going to call a top now? Then you're going to call it all that sort of stuff. Well, top mate, I just saw your comment there. My view is he is paid to make noise. Does he even actually trade? Because I saw him like having a Patreon account or something like that, like where you can support the channel. I'm not sure. Does he actually even trade, or is he just like a market commentator or something like that? I don't know. I didn't see anything about like saying, okay, these are my positions. You know what I mean, Top? Where you know my business. You already know I'm long. I was long a few weeks ago. You know my positions right now for trading. I'm trading TMF and I'm long the stock market. Now they may not work out, so they're not recommendations. I may lose money on those trades. So, but I didn't hear anything about him saying these are my positions in the markets right now. And if he is short, anyway, I'm a trader. I make good money from trading. This thing here is just a side thing for me. And by the way, you can't buy anything from me right now anyway. It's like, I don't have anything to sell. Actually, I do. It's a $4 course. But my coaching program, which is where I do make a good income from, which is only 20 people, by the way. Actually, it's 15 people right now that I've logged in, and it's closed. It's only a small group. I don't actually have anything to sell here right now. I'm just doing this to try to help you guys out. I've got a free book, and after that free book, I might offer you a $4 trading course or some $4 thing. So anyway, I'm just trying to show you, like, you can't actually buy any coaching from me right now anymore. So I'm just doing this video here, this live stream, just to help you out. So that's all. The name is Let Me Know. Then I check after a few view. I can only set. Oh, geez. I used to read by Divergence easily. It doesn't help too much. It makes you try to pick a top and bottom. I don't do it anymore. Good job, man. Good job. Well, guys, look at the reality of the situation. Look at the reality of the situation. How are you trading the markets? If you are trading divergences and reversal patterns, heads and shoulders, by default, you're going against the market. If the market's strong up or strong down, you're going against the strong market. By default, you're going to have a low win-loss ratio. How are you approaching your trading? This is called having a solid foundation to enter the market. Most people don't do really well because they're doing this shit. Trust me, I know. I got an old mate that trades the foreign exchange, and he's been doing this for 5-6 years. He blows himself out of the market by trading foreign exchange, and then takes 6 months off, comes back and does the exact same shit. Trades heads and shoulders, and then blows himself up again. And then waits 6 months and then comes back. I'm like, you're an idiot. Don't. And I called him an idiot because it's just like doing this for like 5 years and he does the same thing again and again and again. I'm like, you're doing the same thing over and over again. Stop it. Over YouTube, I saw a lot of by paid to make noise. Paid to make noise. Huh. I'm not sure what that is. Yeah. Thank you. Thank the good Lord. It's John Howe. Tib. Are you sure it's me? It's AI. You know that this is AI talking now, so it's not really me. It's not really me. It's someone else. it's, that's that's my clone. Don't listen to the AI guy. He has no idea. Oh, top. Are you talking? Is that the $4 thing? Is that the one that you're talking about? That $4 system thing I was promoting? Yep. Cool. Yeah, there's some really good trading systems in there. Top. Just to get people started. What's the time? Oh, the market's been closed for a while now. See what happens when I get excited about these markets. Remember, guys, trade probabilities, not these one-off things, right? I do really well because I know if I trade the exact same trading approach I'm doing right now, at least 7 times out of 10, I'm going to make a profit. And I would say at least 2 or 3 of those are going to be really big profits. I win the game of trading. That's the game of trading. Not, well, let me just try this and just having a bit of a guess. That's not trading. Come on. Use a plan. Have a good foundations. The foundation has to be more swayed to more of a higher win-loss ratio. You're going to have your losing trades. That's part of trading. And this is where most people are like, you got it wrong, I got it right, all this type of thing. And stick with that for the rest of the year. None of this other bullshit out there. And yet, shiny object syndrome and all this sort of get rich quick scheme bullshit. No. Solid foundation, good win-loss ratio. You're going to have your losses. You're going to have your profits. And if you know how to let your profits run, a good, say, 30% of those should be really big profits. Come the end of the year, you've had a really good year. Rinse, recycle, repeat. People want to be around these markets long term. Have a solid foundation of how you're approaching it throughout the year. None of this guessing bullshit. Well, let me just guess. Let me just try this. Oh my goodness, silver's gone. Let me quick FOMO. No. Anyway, that's for me anyway. By the way, it's taken me 20 years, guys, to figure this. I shouldn't say 20 years. I've been trading the markets for 20 years. So my first 5 years, I was $250,000 in net by doing all this bullshit. Reversal signals and it's like, you're an idiot, John. What are you doing? And because I really, really, really wanted to make it with trading, I had to start to be honest with myself and have an honest talk with myself about how I'm trading the markets. And if I really want to make good money from the markets, if I really want to trade really well, then I need to have an honest look at myself on how I'm trading the markets. Am I actually trading the markets professionally? Is this a professional thing? Well, if I look at my last 5 trades, no, because I just took a guess. I'm like, well, I hope this is going to go up. Let me get in now. That's not a trading plan. That's not a trading system. That's not being professional. You want to make a lot of money from trading? You need a good foundation to your trading. And no, the dollar collapsing is not a bloody trading plan. Nothing much on the market. So what actually happened here? Oh, just give me a sec, guys. Righty. Not much on the market. My trend line on XLE. I'll let it trigger today. Ooh. Okay, so this is okay. Let's have a look around the globe here, eh? Let's have a look around the globe. Let's have another look here. So overall, Russell's still holding quite strong through here, which is quite nice to see. Let's just bring up this weekly chart here. If we hold here and break up above the 2,600, then that means we're probably going to start to make a move. We're probably going to see this move here. So this is the Russell here. So once again, we've held here. We're at this level here. We're holding this level right now here. And we're starting to get that move. If the Russell does hold here and we start to break above this 2,600, then this is probably what we're going to see. We're probably going to start to see this thing start to make a really nice move up towards that 3,000 level, which is this channel. And also, you can see here, this is also, that's the projected, sort of a projected target up there. So could be a big move coming out of Russell. Oh geez. Let's go NASDAQ. NASDAQ at the support level. We can actually see that the NASDAQ actually had a resistance here, resistance here. It's actually more like there, isn't it? More like there. I'm going to be honest. That point there, that point there. That was the resistance. Came down, found support. Now we're holding through here. Energy building phase, guys. Just going sideways. We're not reversing. Now, if it does start to break down, now we have something to worry about. But here's the line in the sand for you guys. You worried about the downside to come? Here's the line in the sand. We can't pick a top right now. So don't do it. If you do, I know where you live. I'm coming to find you. So what are you doing? Do the whole smack thing. If we break this level here, because that's the low, this is still an upward trend. Low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, same low, higher low. We need to break this low here to say this is a top. You can't call this a top right now. No one knows. But if we do start to break past this level here around the 24,000 level, we'll start to break down to the 24,000. Yes. Now we have something to say. Now we could be getting ready for a much sharper correction on the downside or drop on the downside. But until that happens, bull market intact. No, the top is not in. Let's go to YM. Okay, so the YM, the Dow, this is the weekly chart here, as you can see, to the left. We're now slowly making our way up. Very nice upward trend here. Broke up to the upside. And now we're here. Yep, sure looks like the top's in. The top's in here. Oh, no, it's not. It's here. Oh, no, it's not. It's here. Oh, the top's in here. Oh, the top's in here. Yep, keep calling the top when the market keeps just trending up. Trade with the trend. And the S&P 500. This is my baby. Well, this is the one that I'm in right now. Call options for trading-wise. Very beautiful. Look at that there. Resistance level there. Resistance level there on the S&P. Beautiful channel here. We actually had this starter point. We actually had one, and then all these touches all through here. And then it had all these touches through here, which is the weekly chart. Once again, this is, because we're looking at a weekly chart here, look, this is the weekly chart here. So this here is about, man, that's about a couple of months worth of data through there. So we're not talking something really small. That starter point there. And then guess what happened? And we had this resistance all through here. Look what happened just recently. Oh my goodness, the top's in? No, you muppet. You watch, the top's going to be in now. God's going to give me some humble pie. That's all right. But for now, no, it's all good. Major resistance, time support. And then now, off the back of this, for you guys that have no technical analysis, what is this? This is what? At the other side is, right? Normally when the market goes sideways like this, right? And you have your resistance level there. You guys that know technical analysis like this, right? Market breaks up, comes back down, tests it, and then continues up. What do you think this is? Market goes, breaks out of the channel, comes back down, tests it, and continues up. That's all this is. It's just a breakout, test it, and a continuation. Now, so that's what's happening to the stock market. Nothing going on there. Gold, we've already talked about gold and silver today a lot. It's dead. Oh, man. Eh? Talk about a stomach turn for those traders, especially trading leverage right now. Oh, it's a stomach turn. Right. We've already talked about interest rates. This is my overall trajectory, what I'm seeing happening with interest rates overall. I say overall, so easy tiger. So over the next 1 to 2 years, we should, or actually probably the next 12 months, we're probably going to see a drop to the downside. But this is the overall pattern I see over the next 5 to 10 years. Meaning for the next 1 to 2 years, see a drop in interest rates. Then there's going to be massive printing money, which is going to cause a massive inflationary spike. And then the rates are just going to go absolutely just nuts through here. So I'm seeing this level here. I'm in the interest rates. I'm actually seeing this being more of a complete shift for the last 40 years. The last 40 years has been what? Downward trending, down, 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 down. We broke up, we come back down. So this here right now is a start. This is the start of a major new shift for the next probably 40 years. We were in a downtrending environment, but what's happening right now is a major shift. It broke up, higher high. It's probably going to come down, and then we're going to see this really big move to the upside. So my TMF position, I'm just trading this, what's likely to happen in the next 12 months. I definitely want to be holding long term. Gold, yes, I want to hold long term. Silver and the mining sector, I want to hold long term, yes. Because I see 10,000 gold by the end of the decade. How that happens, I don't know. But I wouldn't want to be holding this for more than 12 months, which I'm not. Same for the 30-year, right? Everything's started to change. The same for the 30-year. Meaning, look, we've been in a very big downtrending environment. Down, 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 down. Big move up. We're probably going to come down a little bit through here. And then we're going to continue up from there. But this here right now is what's happened for the last 5 years on the big picture is a major shift breaking out. See how that's breaking out of that channel from there? For the last 40 years, we've had this downward phasing of the overall interest rates, but now we're breaking out. It's the start of a new era. So these charts are giving us warning signs of what's coming there. And the 2 year, 2 years is going to get hammered. But the same for the 2 year, right? Meaning, look at the 2 year. The 2 year's been doing that. So the same thing for the 2 year. I'm just drawing the overall actual pattern through there. But the same thing for the 2 year, right? Big down, big up, big down, big up. But it's been an overall big swing into the downside. Come back down, had a big move up. We're probably going to come down, to here somewhere. And then we're going to pick back up here. But what's happening right now, this is a major shift happening in the actual interest rates. Which is why I'm long TMF. Because over the next 12 months, as that thing starts to happen, Game on. So I believe the TMF position with patience, right, is probably one of the greatest trades for 2026. For what I can see right now, anyway, for right now. There's probably going to be some really good opportunities as the market as continues on in the markets, and I'm continue doing my analysis and research. But for now, probably the TMF is that one there. Oh, what an amazing year, guys. It's been such a good year this year. Now, it hasn't always gone perfectly for me. I've had my ups and downs. But one thing I've definitely learned through this year is, and even just right now in my current situation, I'm going through a bit of a personal thing right now. Nothing financial. Is one of the best things I've learned this year within especially the volatility and the tariff situation, is those who can stay emotionally controlled in volatile or an upsetting environment, you're the person who's going to succeed in life. If you're easily triggered by short-term movement in the stock market or something happening in your life, even though it's painful and it's like, what the hell is this happening for? Those who can stay emotionally controlled and not letting our fear or ego or greed or sort of stuff get out of control, those who have the ability to be able to stay a bit more on the center there, doesn't mean you're not going to get upset or angry. Those who can then do that and not react to the situation, but then take time to respond, you're the person who's going to do really well because you're going to make much better decisions. And I'm pretty sure we've been there, right? We have something happen to us. We quickly react. Oh my goodness. And then we're fearful and all that sort of stuff. And we make a decision and then we just make it worse. So like, oh my goodness, just dug myself a hole, even worse. So that's one of the best things I've actually learned this year around my own personal life, what's happening now. And even through this year, and it was definitely a big sort of, especially with the whole tariff situation that happened this year, with this tariff drop here, it definitely taught me, really highlighted the art of being patient, and sometimes just if you're not sure, just step aside and don't do anything for a little while, and then when the market calms down, then start the trade again. Yep. No, my check. Yeah. I show trader 2, but not as good as you. I slow trade. Okay. No. I trust my trend line and accept it when I'm wrong. Cool. I think you're going to be okay doing what you're doing, Tom. Top. I'm in the energy sector. I just think you're a bit early. That's all. But I do see there's a massive probability of it breaking out. I just don't know when. But with that being said, I'm pretty confident it's likely to happen next year sometime. So I just think you're really early. My issue with that is that you just don't know when it's gonna start. So for me, I wait for the breakout above the previous highs first. And then that's when I start so for example, with USO, the best time to get involved with something for me is I wait for the breakout above these highs first, not these downward trend lines, but this channel here. That's the major resistance. I need to see USO get above here around the 88 level for me to start to say, okay, we're now likely to be starting this. We might get something like this going on. Up and then down and back up and then back down and back up and back down through there. So I do think you're in good hands. You're just going to have to require a lot of patience as we get a bit more volatility through here. But I do believe 2026 is going to be the year of a strong energy and oil market. So everything's setting up for me there. That's probably a good opportunity. I've been watching that now for quite some time. When it does confirm, that's when I'm going to break. So, and the reason why, top, is if you look at these markets here, whenever we get these here, we're still in this what's called a time phase, this energy building phase, and we don't know when this is going to end. Typically what happens is when we do start to then start the breakout, this breakout here is now telling us we've actually now done doing this energy building phase, and this actually could then be the start of it. And that happened with gold as well too. We see it all the time. So whenever we get a breaking of the highs, so we have that high point through there, as you can see. So as you can see through here, so that was the sideways, easy, right through there. You can see we had this move up, and as you can see here, we went up, went sideways, and it wasn't until we actually started the breakout here that was the sign to tell us now we're likely to be starting that next move. So that's the breakout above the highs there, not some sort of trend line coming down like that. That's the most important thing for me, and then you can go from there. Yeah, so but as long as you've got good risk management on your account, because it should just be it should be just one position in your overall account there. Even if there's a losing trade, you shouldn't be getting hurt too much. That's what it's all about. Cup and handle. When they start to hike rates again, that will be brutal. Yes, 618. I agree with you. And that's where I'm seeing over the next 12 months, we're likely to see the interest rates coming down, which is why I'm long TMF. Take advantage of that. And then after that, I want to be out of it. It's definitely not a 5-year buy and hold. It's a 12-month buy and hold, and see the TMF and the bond market rally a little bit, make 100% return on my investment, just even buying it, a few 100% return on my options, and I'm out of there. Now, by the way, guys, when you start to talk about these numbers, like you start to have a nice position on just buying the TMF, $100,000, $1 million, right? You can potentially make a 7-figure profit over the next 12 months just by buying and holding something. Now, I'm not telling you you're going to do that, because you can lose money as well too. But yeah, that's always the thing, isn't it? So where there's no guarantees, no matter how good something looks. Let's go have a look at some of the other markets here. So Bitcoin, still just holding here. Damn, look at Ethereum. Man, hey guys, is it true? I heard that Tom Lee's like $3 billion or something in the water with Ethereum. Is that true? I don't know. I heard something on the good old YouTubes recently. And again, I traded Ethereum through here. Why? Up. There's the energy building phase, and then I traded it up through there. That was a trading opportunity for me. But for buy and hold, no. Definitely not. Because again, I have always said, and I still say it, I don't have any long-term positions with the crypto markets. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, how can I? Me seeing gold at 10,000 plus in the next 5 years, that makes sense to me of what I see happening. And the mining sector and so on and so forth. But I can't make any rhyme or reason of why cryptos is going to do it. Yeah. It's not going to work. Well, I mean, I don't have any probability. At least with TMF, we know everything goes in cycles, right? So interest rates go up, then interest rates top, and then the interest rates go down. And then they bottom, and then they go back up. I'm playing the cycles with the bond market. So I have some probability of the cycles playing out there. And that's with TMF. With cryptos, I'm like, okay, well, Bitcoin's going to go to 100,000. Why? Bitcoin's going to go to 200,000. Why? Like there's nothing there. I'm talking investment purposes, by the way, guys. People that are looking to buy and hold for many years. which I know Bitcoin's been the hottest topic, isn't it? Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. And especially this guy here, XRP. XRP has been the biggest piece of poo ever. And there's been every day there's someone new coming out about the adoption of XRP and XRP to the moon. It's a piece of poo. Unfortunately, right now, guys, unfortunately, and you guys know what I'm talking about, unfortunately, there is a lot of pain out there for guys that don't actually have a good handle of a good trading strategy, because just the nature of what's happening right now, especially with the metals today. Oh, and I know there's a lot of people that FOMO'd into the silver and gold, and they probably did it on leverage. Natural gas might be on. Forget that. Vanguard. The emerging markets might be one as well too. Like that, there might be something here setting up. Uranium. How's uranium looking? Natural gas. Damn, eh? How's copper looking? Oh wow, got back to the highs. Big move on the downside today. But it got back to the highs after this thing that happened at the start of the year. Uranium, platinum. What's? Oh my goodness! Platinum got destroyed. Wow. I did not see that. Man, there's some volatility in there. Oh my goodness. It's Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, but it's probably not a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year for a lot of individuals right now. There's a lot of pain out there, and I'm sure you guys have seen it with, especially with the cryptocurrencies. What's happening, especially with the cryptocurrencies, is like, man. So, guys, if there are any questions that you guys have for me, I'm going to finish up in a minute. But if there are any questions you guys have for me, just let me know. I'm coming off the back of a really, really successful year for me, guys. I don't like to talk about numbers of what I've done and stuff like that, because I'm not here to brag. But I've had a really good year this year. I had a really good year last year. Put it this way, guys. Probably over 80% of my coaching clients who pay me a premium price to be coached by them in my 1% club, 80% of them have re-signed up another year with me. So I'm just trying to give you the context about when it comes to my coaching and what I do. Not only do I do really well, but I do really help a lot of people out there when it comes to that through there. Again, I'm not promoting my coaching program, because I only take about 15, maybe 20. I've taken on 15 people now for next year, and then I close it down. I call it the 1% club because it's a real small 15, maybe 20 people in the group. And then I'm with them every single day, coaching them, helping them. So I don't really have a big coaching program with 1,000 people, and it's just not my thing. My main thing is trading, and then I want to have a coaching thing on the side just to help some people. But for now, again, I'm not promoting my coaching. I'm just letting you know that my coaching program is probably one of the most successful coaching programs out there when it comes to actually getting people results. And the reason I'm saying that is I've actually close to doubled my prices for next year, and 80% of my current coaching clients this year have re-signed up again next year and happy to pay the high price because I get results there. How did you too, John? Oh, fantastic, man. Fantastic. Fantastic. There's a lot of opportunities around, guys. A lot of opportunities. Unfortunately, the narrative around these markets, the Bitcoin and things like even the tech stocks, like look at, man, just things like even Netflix, Microsoft, man, the Mag 7, Amazon, Nvidia. Man, there's just been a lot, hasn't there? A lot of pain that's going on right now. Oh, well, let me finish off with this, guys. I promise you guys, this whole, I'm going to finish off with this here. Guys, if you're struggling with the trading this year or you're just not sure, go get access to my free book here. This free book here is based on the psychology and the mindset of how to think about your trading properly. And I promise you, get the book. Don't even buy anything from me if you don't want to buy me from me. Like, actually, I've got a $4 course you can buy if you want to get access to that. But apart from that, but at least get access to the book, guys. I think there's about 9 chapters in it. And I promise you, after you read the first chapter of the book, I promise you, so many light bulbs, like, oh my goodness, this is so good. Because it's not just based off me, but it's based off the lessons I've learned from Jesse Livermore and W.D. Gann and Paul Tudor Jones. And again, I'm giving it away for free. So go get access to it, guys. So anyway, guys, that's it for me today. Have an amazing day, everybody. And I'll speak to everyone real soon.